What up, meal prepsters? It's your boy Bobby, and today I'm gonna hook you up with Beachbody meal prep because yes, it is that time of year and this meal is gonna make you lean, mean, but most importantly, it's a monster on flavor. And honestly, I eat this about 3 or 4 times per week. It is so filling and so nutritious. So we are gonna make my chicken and vegetable superfood bowl. Spice crusted chicken breast cooked until golden on the outside and juicy on the inside, served with wild rice that is loaded with roasted vegetables, herbs, nuts, and seeds, and tossed in a ginger vinaigrette. So if you love meal prep and you love flavor, you might wanna subscribe to my channel. I'm rocking out new videos every Friday morning and I want you to be a part of it. In front of me, I have 5 boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and normally chicken breast can be really bland and get super dry really easily. But I'm gonna hook you up with the best way to cook chicken breast. And the first tip is to buy thin cut or butterfly chicken. So I buy it thin and then I cut it into manageable pieces. If you guys are using big fat chicken breast, there is no way they're gonna cook through evenly. They're always gonna dry out. To up the flavor even more without adding any extra fat, I'm gonna grab some smoked paprika, and anytime I grab paprika, you know that is the makings of a spice rub. I'm gonna add about 1.5 teaspoons to this bowl, and then grab some thyme and add about 1 teaspoon. Then 1.5 teaspoons of ancho chili powder. The beauty of this stuff is that it's not really spicy. It's more of an earthy, kind of smoky pepper. Then go in with 1 teaspoon each of garlic powder and onion powder. Give that a good mix up. Then I'm gonna reach for some salt and give a good pinch all over the top side of the chicken. And then pinch over about half of the spice rub. And the beauty of using the dry rub is that it's gonna add an insane crust later on when these hit the pan. Plus, when you're using a wet marinade, it usually has oil that adds fat and the meat doesn't really get brown or caramelized in the pan. Flip the chicken over and hit it with a little more salt and some spice rub. And for those of you who have not heard me said it 150 times, we never cook cold chicken in a hot pan or oven. It'll cook unevenly and be dry. So I always put it to the side and let it come up to room temperature for about 20 minutes, and that'll let the marinade kind of do its thing. In the meantime, we can get cracking on the veggie superfood rice bowl. To start the salad, I have 2 cups of cauliflower florets and 2 cups of broccoli florets, and I'm preheating the oven at 450 degrees. I'm gonna spill these guys onto a sheet tray, put it in one even layer, and then pour over about 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil, pinch just over 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and crack over some pepper. Now use the best mixing tools in the kitchen, your hands, just to mix these guys up. Now most of the salad is gonna be raw, but cooking these in the oven at a high temperature is gonna give you kind of a contrast of cooked vegetables and raw ones. Plus, because we're cooking them so high, they're gonna get caramelized and crispy on the outside and super creamy on the inside. I love that. Now pop these guys into the oven for about 25 minutes. So while the vegetables are getting roasty in the oven, I'm gonna grab my wild rice that I cooked a little bit earlier, but just in case you've never seen it before, this is what it looks like when it's raw. It's a super hearty rice grain, and it's actually a seed. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour to cook, but once you cook it, it looks like this. The seed really blooms or opens up, and you can see the inside of the seed. Now the beautiful thing about wild rice is that it's crazy healthy and it will clean you out in a good way because it has a ton of fiber, twice the amount of protein as brown rice, and it's loaded with minerals that gives you a lot of energy. If you don't want to use this, you can also do brown rice. You can also use quinoa, but I really encourage you to try wild rice. The texture and the flavor are nutty and awesome. A couple tablespoons each of cashews and raw pumpkin seeds that I finely chopped. Then add 1 tablespoon of flax seeds. These are also high in fiber, so once again, they're cleaning out, but they're also high in omega-3 fatty acids. Next, I want some more color in there, so I'm gonna grab 2 carrots that I peeled and just use a box grater and break these down. Me likes a little bit of spice in the salad, so I'm gonna reach for one of these long red hot chili peppers. There's not too much heat in these, and finally slice it. Now we do have the crunch in there from the nuts, but I am a crunchaholic, so I'm gonna reach for some snow peas. These are longer and thinner. They still have the peas in here, so stack up a few on top of each other like that, and just slice through. And then I love adding fresh fruit to a salad, especially citrus. So little pieces of orange in here are gonna make the flavors pop. So go ahead and take your knife and chop off the bottom parts, and then cut away the peel. and then cut the segments directly into the bowl. If we were in a French kitchen right now, they would call this cutting the orange into supremes, but that's way too fancy for me in my kitchen. I just call it cutting the orange in segments. You stupid chef, you ruined the salad! And finally, shake in some chives that have been finely sliced. Now this salad is looking really money, and normally I might just drizzle over some olive oil, squeeze in some lemon juice, and call it a day, but I wanna make a sweet ginger dressing to pour over here that is gonna make the flavors absolutely pop. So I have one fresh knob of ginger here. You gotta use the fresh stuff. To peel it, I take a spoon and just get all the skin away.
Then you're gonna use the marketplace, mister. Let me guess.
I think Desi's only heard this about 25 million times.
You like to break it down. Are you good for garlic in it?
Yeah.
I don't think it goes.
Okay, thanks. Desi's really going above and beyond her boundaries today.
I don't want to be in the video.
Too bad, you're gonna be in the video. And then grate about a teaspoon of the ginger using the microplane grater. Desi, what do I say here now? Come on.
The pulp stays on this side, and then on the other side, the ginger comes through.
Desi knows my routine way too well, y'all. And then grate about a half a clove of garlic using the same zester. Once again, it comes through perfectly, and then slap it in the bowl. And then we might as well just stay in the zesting spirit and grab a lemon and zest in about half. And by the way, if you guys want to buy any of the products that I'm using in the kitchen today, like the zester or the spice tins, I always put links down below in the description box. Then squeeze in the juice of one lemon. Squeeze in 2 teaspoons of agave nectar. You could also use honey or maple syrup. Add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a couple cracks of black pepper, and then stream in 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil and constantly whisk. Ooh, the ginger and the garlic are zippy, but you know what? It needs a little more citrus. We already have the carcass of the orange sitting here, so I think a little squeeze of that will give me exactly what I'm looking for. Maybe about a tablespoon. All right, the dressing is done. The vegetables only have a few more minutes in the oven. In the meantime, make sure you check out the Flav City Facebook page. Every Wednesday afternoon at 4 o'clock Chicago time, I'm doing live cooking streams. We can hang out. You can ask me questions in real time. It is so much fun, so check it out. I'll see you there. All right, you guys, the veggies took 25 minutes exactly, and check these out. What did I tell you about roasty and toasty on the outside, but still soft and creamy on the inside? Add all the broccoli and the cauliflower to the bowl. No need to let it cool down. Now, clearly I miscalculated my bowl size. I ain't gonna toss nothing in there. I'm gonna make a mess. So let's transfer to the bigger bowl here. Yum. There is so much goodness, so much action going inside this bowl right now. If you want this salad to last 5 days, I would not dress the entire thing. I would dress an individual portion each morning, but since Desi and I are gonna crush this in the next 3 or 4 days, it's okay to do it all now. Add about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a couple cracks of pepper. And then give it a good mix up. This is one sexy ass salad, you guys. Dang. Guys, insane flavor, insane texture. There is so much action up in this business, it's insane. The only thing I do want to do is wake up the flavors just a little bit with the 1 squeeze of lemon juice, and it's done. All right, the salad is done. Now, as much as I just want to dive into it like a swimming pool, I'm gonna push it to the side and we're gonna get fixin' on our chicken. Now, after 25 minutes of marination, look how that spice rub has really penetrated down deep into the chicken. That is what I'm talking about, you guys. Now I'm preheating a large cast iron pan, actually 2 large cast iron pans over medium-high heat. I'm gonna drizzle in about 2 teaspoons of olive oil. And you have to preheat your pan for 2 minutes total. And the only way you know that happens is when you put the piece of chicken in, it has to make this noise. Sizzle Nation, you guys. That's gonna help form that crust immediately. Now, as soon as the chicken goes in the pan, let it go for 5 minutes. Don't touch it, and do yourself a favor, buy a splatter guard, put that over the pan, and that'll make your cleanup life a lot easier. You know I'm hooking you up down below in the description box if you want one of these. Okay, I'm gonna flip the chicken over. Perfect, you guys. Look at that crust. Let them go another 5 minutes, and they're done. All right, the last of the chicken is out and smelling outrageous. While it's resting for 5 minutes, if you guys are wondering how to clean a nasty cast iron pan, I just made a video the other week. Make sure to check that out. Also, if you guys have any requests for recipes and meal preps coming up, leave a comment below. I want to know what you guys want to see, and I will hook you up. I've got my glass meal prep containers and a beach body meal prep that is looking banging in front of me. Before I build my containers, I thought it'd be nice to show you how I'd plate this for lunch or dinner using a bowl. So grab a nice scoop of the salad, then grab a piece of chicken, and then slice it up and put it right on top of the bowl. And for the containers, add some salad, then cut the chicken in half. Look at how juicy that is, you guys. And then tuck that into the container too. All 5 containers are done, including my feed bowl right here. Let's take a little bite from that. You guys, that is feel-good food. The chicken is crazy juicy. That spice crust has so much flavor. The salad is everything a growing Bobby needs and more. Now, this could be a cold lunch meal prep also. You don't have to heat up the chicken. You could take it to work, school, and eat it as is. If you are gonna heat up this meal prep, I highly recommend storing the salad separately from the chicken. A lot of you guys have left comments asking why I do this. It's purely to look good on the video and for Instagram, yo. That's the only reason. I never heat up my salads, but for storage and reheating instructions, all that good stuff is below along with the recipe. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for new videos every Friday. If you want to see 2 more healthy, delicious, epic meal preps, check out the videos below me. I'll see you next week. Until then, #keep on cooking.